What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is a hot afternoon and it's been something like just over 3 months in quarantine. I'm going a bit cuckoo being indoors, so haven't done much shoots lately. So what we're going to talk about today is what happens behind the scenes, more specifically what I use to document what's going on. And yeah, so we're going to show you the complete setup, but that's what we're talking about today, my vlog setup. So the first thing I wanted to do when I wanted to put up my own vlog setup, my own rig, was to be budget friendly. Now, I started thinking and looking into what I had available, what I had with me. Now, my main camera is a Sony a7 III, which is great for videos, which I can shoot like this if I've got a tripod, but it's my only camera, so I need a second camera to shoot videos. And behind the scenes, I needed to decide, did I want to spend a large amount of money or just a minimal amount of money? So I decided to go the minimal route. And you can't go as minimal as using your phone. So my vlog setup is actually using this 3-year-old phone. It's an Asus Zenfone Max 4. It's just about 3 years old, probably a little over 3 years old, and it's pretty decent. If you're out in sunlight like this, it's a pretty good camera. But if you saw in my last video, I actually tried to use this to shoot behind the scenes for our home portrait session, and it looked like it was shot out of a potato. It was using this, so it doesn't perform great indoors or in low light. It is an old camera. It is not a top tier phone, so if you had a better phone, you'd get better video quality. One thing you do want to watch out when using a phone is if you put it in your pocket, you've got greasy hands, you're going to get scratches or oily fingerprints on the lens. So you want to wipe those down before you start shooting to get the best image quality. Unfortunately, my rear lens is a bit scratched up, really scratched up. The front is perfectly fine, so that's great. Very, very efficient, very good. Now, aside from this, so this answers my problem of having a second camera. But I wanted to get pretty stable footage, and despite using my phone, I did want to get some nice dynamic angles. And I started looking into the market for gimbals. Now, there are a few out there, different price ranges, and I think the best bang for the buck that you can get is the DJI Osmo Mobile 3. It's a nice little setup. This thing folds pretty small. It can fit in your pocket, but it's not something I do. How this works is this thing flips up, and you gotta unlock this top portion, and you do have to do some balancing on it, just like any gimbal. You have to balance your phone on it. But once you've got that balanced, this thing gets pretty nice shots, not just for your talking head style shots walking around, but I've used it for some pretty cinematic shots throughout the behind the scenes shoots. You can see some B-roll there that was actually shot with this phone on the DJI Osmo 3. Now, to get into some key specs here, it has a built-in battery, which is, some people don't like that, but I think it's pretty cool that it is. I don't mind it. The built-in battery is rated for, so the battery is rated for 2450 mAh, so that should last you up to 15 hours if you've got the phone balanced. If you have it not really balanced, the motor will struggle more, so you'll get less runtime. But yeah, that's how much time it's gonna run. Hi guys, message from future me here. I skipped a couple of things. First of all of the gear on the video is mine. I purchased, and it's nothing sponsored. My channel's too small to get sponsored by anyone. But most importantly, I missed out on a couple of things on the DJI Osmo Mobile 3. Specifically, it uses the DJI Mimo app, which I don't own any of the DJI drones, but I hear that it's got amazing tracking features on that, and that is available on the DJI Mobile 3, Osmo Mobile 3, through the DJI Mimo app. So you don't need a cameraman. You can set up the camera on a tripod, use your gestures to start recording, and it'll track you. You can move around and it'll follow you. I don't use it that much. One of the features I do use is the time-lapse feature. Now that thing is amazing. I use the time-lapse and the hyperlapse features. I'll show you some demo, some footage from the past that I've used it for. Amazing stuff. But yeah, so back to the actual video, and see you around next time. Oh, and I forgot. It's about to get really noisy. There's a bit of construction, and neighbors' chickens were going crazy, so I apologize. Those are things I did not foresee. But yeah, back to the video. Now, there is an Osmo Mobile 3 kit, which I didn't get. The kit comes with a carrying case and its tripod. I did not get that because I wanted to get a different set, a different tripod, which takes me to the tripod that I use for this setup is the Manfrotto Pixie Evo. So it's just like the Pixie tripod, Manfrotto Pixie. The difference is, I believe one of its main differences is that the legs extend. I'm not sure if you can do this with the first one. You can adjust the level of the legs. So you can splay out the legs, and if you need something lower, you can just flick that switch and that thing goes down lower. And the beauty of this is it acts like an extended grip. So if I need something to give me a longer range of view, I can just slide this out and it gives me a bit of an extended grip right there, which is great if when paired up with the Osmo. I can go in for some nice low shots, go up to some high shots, and you've seen me done that in some of the videos I've shot. Again, all on the phone. But having that range of movement, that those dynamic shots does help in making the video stand out and look a bit better. Hey, look, there's a bird. I get distracted. But yeah, so you've got a ball head on top here. You can loosen it up, and that thing pretty much rotates around anywhere you go. You've got a nice slot there, so if you want to go to portrait mode, you can do that as well. Either if I mount the camera or if I have some way to mount the phone on this. But there you go. An awesome little tripod. One complaint I do have about this is the whole mechanism here, which allows you the 1/4-inch screw that allows you to mount on the Osmo Mobile on the bottom as well. If you're mounting something else on it, and I've tried mounting like the microphone we'll talk about in a bit, this thing just spins around and you can loosen up. So I find myself every now and then constantly checking if I've got everything tightened up and screwed it down. So that's that. Now, one problem I did face, which if you've seen my first video, you'll notice that I don't talk much, or I've actually tried to avoid talking at all because audio quality was just terrible. Phone can take nice video, but unfortunately the built-in mic really wasn't made for shooting videos the way that I do, or the way that a vlogger would. So the next thing I looked into was getting a microphone, and I'm going to shoot some B-roll probably with me fiddling around with the mic, but it's now on the A7 III I'm filming with, and yeah, it's a Boya BY-MM1. It's a cardioid shotgun mic, and it's a directional mic. Just to go through some specs here. So when I got this, it comes with 2 cables. It gives you the TRS to TRRS and a TRRS to TRRS cable. So if you need to plug it into the phone, it comes with that cable already, 3.5mm jack. The only problem you'd have is if you're using an iPhone. If you have the newer phones that don't have that 3.5mm jack, you're gonna have to get an adapter if you want to use this mic. But the great part about that is when you get it, you've got the microphone itself. There's no batteries needed, and it comes with the dead cat, which is great for minimizing any wind. Like right now, it's a bit windy. I don't know if you're picking that up. Hopefully not. And that dead cat, that fluffy thing on top, is doing its job. But it's a pretty good package for the price you pay. I'll list the prices down in the description, but it's definitely, I have to do some conversion, but it's definitely way cheaper than some of the higher end setups, which is like the Rode Video Go, I think, is the one that's comparable to this. And lastly, I needed a way to connect this all together, the mic to the tripod, to the phone, to the DJI Osmo Mobile. And I got a nice little cheap, affordable, I wouldn't say cheap, cheap has connotations of inferior. I got a nice affordable little accessory here, which is called, it's an Lanzi Part 7 cold shoe mount. So all it does is it screws onto the bottom of either, you can put it on probably the bottom of the A7. I haven't tried that. I guess you can. So you could probably mount this on an A7 III or any other cameras. It does have a 1/4 inch screw on the bottom. So all I do is I mount this to the Osmo Mobile, the tripod photo goes to the bottom, and the mic goes in here. So the beauty of that is it allows me to connect a microphone while, just jump cut this. So it allows me to connect a microphone off to the right, I do it off to the left. And the beautiful thing about that is when you mount your phone, once you deploy this thing, I'm going to tell you where to face the camera, right? The camera will actually be facing, oops, so there. So this thing will tell you where to face your camera. And the beautiful thing about that, once this is turned on, is your camera will be flush here. And what I do is I have the mic lined up straight here. So when I hold this up, I don't hold it dead center in front of me. I actually hold it slightly to the right so that the phone camera is lined up with the mic, and Bob's your uncle, may he rest in peace. And everything just lines up, mic and camera and audio quality comes out nice and great. So that's that. So price, I know so there's a lot of background noise going on. I picked probably worst days to shoot because there's a construction going on. Price point, and I'm probably gonna list these things down in pesos and provide you conversion in US dollars, prompted on screen. The DJI Osmo Mobile comes off to something like 6,000 pesos. I'll list that for price here. The Manfrotto Pixie Evo is something around 2,000 pesos, and this little buddy is something like 300 pesos. And then the Boya VY MM1 mic is something like 1,000 pesos. So yeah, that's it. That's my setup. For anyone out there that has a different setup or a similar setup, I'd love to hear what you guys do, how you guys use your setup, what you do differently, or probably what you do the same. If you found this video informative, drop a like, subscribe. If you don't like it, comments down there, tell me why you don't like it. Hit the dislike button twice, that definitely helps. And wink wink. Yeah, until next time.